Stand out and do exploits. The Pursuit of Success Series, Part 5. Written by Daniel Eremesele. Chapter 9. Your input determines your output. It is commonly said that whatever you put into life is what you receive from it. Life does not always reward people merely according to what they desire. It often rewards them according to what they contribute. Successful people are those who have learned to make meaningful contributions to society and to the environments in which they find themselves. Input means the contribution, participation, effort, knowledge, time, energy, resources and discipline invested in something to produce a particular result. Your contribution to life will, to a great extent, determine what life produces through you. Successful people understand that without input, there can be no output. When we speak about input, we are referring to the things you intentionally do to produce the results you desire. Success and failure do not usually happen without a cause. They are often the outcomes of the decisions, habits and actions we practice consistently. Life is about contributing your quota to the development of your family, community, organization, nation and generation. When you refuse to make a meaningful contribution, you limit what can come out of your life. However, when you invest your abilities, knowledge and resources wisely, you position yourself for productivity and progress. Every harvest begins with a seed. A farmer understands the relationship between input and output. Before expecting a harvest, the farmer prepares the soil, plants seeds, removes weeds, applies the necessary nutrients and protects the crops. The farmer cannot neglect these responsibilities and still expect an abundant harvest. The same principle operates in every area of life. Your words, thoughts, choices, associations, habits and actions are seeds. Every day, you are planting something into your future. Some people plant diligence, discipline, integrity and continuous learning. Others plant laziness, dishonesty, excuses and careless living. In time, everyone encounters the results of what they have planted. The scriptures declare, greater than, do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6:7. You cannot continually sow the seeds of negligence and expect the harvest of excellence. You cannot refuse to learn and expect to become knowledgeable. You cannot avoid responsibility and expect to be trusted with greater opportunities. If you desire a better harvest, begin by examining the seeds you are planting. Your thoughts are an important input. Everything you accomplish begins as a thought. Your mind is the workshop where ideas, decisions and possibilities are formed. The quality of thoughts you permit to dominate your mind will influence the quality of actions you take. When you continually think about failure, rejection and impossibility, your confidence becomes weakened. You may begin to withdraw from opportunities before giving yourself a chance to succeed. But when your mind is filled with faith, wisdom, hope and constructive ideas, you become more willing to act courageously. This does not mean that positive thinking alone will solve every problem. Thoughts must be supported by knowledge, planning and action. Nevertheless, productive action often begins with productive thinking. Protect your mind from messages that constantly weaken your faith or reduce your confidence. Read valuable books. Listen to constructive teaching. Study the lives of people who have produced meaningful results. Meditate on the Word of God and allow truth to shape your outlook. Your life will struggle to rise above the quality of information you continually feed into your mind. Knowledge is an input. Knowledge is one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself. The world is constantly changing, and anyone who refuses to learn will eventually become limited by outdated information. Successful people remain lifelong students. They learn from books, mentors, customers, mistakes, observations and personal experiences. They understand that what they know today may not be sufficient for the responsibilities of tomorrow. Education is not limited to the classroom. Every conversation, assignment, challenge and relationship can teach you something valuable. However, you must develop the humility to learn. Ask questions when you do not understand. Seek guidance from experienced people. Study your profession, business or calling. Improve your communication, leadership and financial management abilities. Do not become satisfied merely because you know more than someone else. Compare your present level of knowledge with the demands of your vision. The greater your assignment, the greater the wisdom and understanding you will require to accomplish it. Time is an input. Time is one of the most valuable resources God has given you. Money that is lost may be recovered, but time that is wasted can never be reclaimed. Everyone receives the same 24 hours each day, yet people produce different results because they use those hours differently. Some people invest their time in learning, planning, building relationships and completing important tasks. Others allow distraction, entertainment and unnecessary activities to consume their most productive hours. Managing your time does not mean that you should never rest. Rest is necessary for physical, emotional and spiritual renewal. However, rest must not become an excuse for idleness. There must be a healthy balance between work, worship, family, personal development and recreation. Begin each day with clear priorities. Identify the assignments that deserve your immediate attention. Refuse to spend your entire day responding to activities that do not move you closer to your goals. When you respect time, time will help you produce something valuable. Discipline turns input into results. Good intentions are not enough. Many people have valuable ideas, dreams and plans, but they lack the discipline required to bring them into reality. Discipline is the ability to continue doing what is necessary even when you do not feel motivated. It keeps you working when results are slow. It teaches you to reject distractions and remain committed to your responsibilities. Motivation may help you begin, but discipline helps you continue. A disciplined person does not wait for perfect conditions before taking action. Such a person understands that progress is often achieved through small, repeated efforts. Reading a few pages every day can eventually produce extensive knowledge. Saving a small amount consistently can create financial stability. Improving a skill daily can eventually produce mastery. Do not despise small beginnings. Every significant achievement is built through repeated acts of faithfulness. Relationships are an input. The people around you can influence your direction, thinking and results. Relationships are therefore an important input into your future. There are people who strengthen your faith, sharpen your thinking and encourage responsible action. There are also people who continually promote fear, irresponsibility and negative behavior. You must be wise about the influence you permit into your life. Choose relationships that support your growth. Walk with people who respect your values and challenge you to become better. Seek mentors who have knowledge and experience in the areas where you desire to grow. You must also become a valuable person in the lives of others. Do not enter every relationship thinking only about what you can receive. Bring encouragement, wisdom, kindness, integrity and practical support. Healthy relationships are built through mutual contribution. What you invest in people may return to you through loyalty, opportunities, knowledge and goodwill. Excellence increases the value of your input. It is not enough to do something, you must learn to do it well. Excellence means giving careful attention to quality and continually looking for ways to improve. People are attracted to value. When your work solves problems, meets needs and is delivered with integrity, people will recognize its importance. Excellence separates you from mediocrity and makes your contribution difficult to ignore. Excellence does not mean perfection. Perfection may cause you to delay action because you are afraid of making mistakes. Excellence means doing your best with what is available while remaining willing to learn and improve. Ask yourself, how can I improve the quality of my work? What knowledge or equipment do I need? What complaints do people repeatedly make? How can I serve them more effectively? What weaknesses must I correct? Every improvement you make increases the value of what you offer. Spiritual input produces spiritual strength. Your spiritual life also follows the principle of input and output. You cannot neglect prayer, the Word of God, worship and fellowship and still expect to remain spiritually strong. Time spent in God's presence produces wisdom, direction, peace and inner strength. Prayer prepares your heart to face responsibilities that your natural ability alone cannot handle. The Word of God renews your mind and keeps your life anchored in truth. When your spirit is strengthened, you become better equipped to handle pressure, disappointment and temptation. You also become more sensitive to God's direction. Success without spiritual stability may produce wealth without peace, influence without character and achievement without fulfillment. Make your relationship with God the foundation of every other investment you make. Input must be consistent. Occasional effort rarely produces lasting success. The power of input is found in consistency. One day of hard work cannot compensate for months of negligence. Reading once cannot make you knowledgeable. Exercising once cannot make you physically fit. Saving money once cannot create financial security. Lasting output comes from repeated input. Consistency may appear ordinary, but it produces extraordinary results over time. Many successful people did not begin with unusual advantages. They simply remained committed to productive actions longer than others were willing to continue. Do not become discouraged because you cannot immediately see the results of your efforts. Seeds grow beneath the ground before they appear above it. Your preparation, learning and discipline may be producing changes that are not yet visible. Continue doing what is right. At the appropriate time, your efforts will speak. Examine your present output. Your present results can help you evaluate your previous inputs. If an area of your life is not producing the outcome you desire, do not only complain about the result. Examine what you have been investing in that area. If your business is not growing, examine the value of your products, customer service, marketing and financial management. If your knowledge is limited, examine your reading and learning habits. If your relationships are struggling, examine your communication, attitude and level of commitment. Honest evaluation is not condemnation. It is an opportunity for correction. You may not be responsible for everything that has happened to you, but you are responsible for how you respond. You can choose new inputs. You can acquire new knowledge, develop better habits, seek wise counsel and take a different direction. Your past may explain your present condition, but it does not have to control your future. Increase your contribution. Stop asking only, "What can life give me?" Begin asking, "What can I contribute?" The world rewards people who solve problems. If you want to become more valuable, increase your capacity to meet genuine needs. Develop a skill that improves people's lives. Create a product that saves time. Offer a service that brings relief. Use your wisdom to guide others. The more useful your contribution becomes, the greater your opportunity to create influence and prosperity. Money is often a reward for value exchanged. Therefore, instead of chasing money without direction, focus on becoming a person who consistently produces value. When you improve your contribution, you increase the possibility of improving your reward. Your output will largely reflect your input. Your present condition may not reveal your full potential, but your daily investments are shaping the person you are becoming. Feed your mind with truth. Invest time in learning. Develop your skills. Build healthy relationships. Practice discipline. Pursue excellence. Strengthen your spiritual life and remain consistent in doing what is right. Do not expect extraordinary results from ordinary commitment. If you desire a greater output, you must be willing to make a greater and more valuable input. Begin with what you have. Use what is in your hands. Improve yourself daily and make a meaningful contribution wherever God has placed you. Your effort may not receive immediate recognition, but no faithful investment is wasted. In due season, the knowledge you have gained, the discipline you have developed and the value you have created will produce visible results. Remember this truth: greater than your thoughts are inputs. Your words are inputs. Your habits are inputs. Your relationships are inputs. Your knowledge is an input. Your time is an input. Your faith is an input. Your service is an input. Choose your inputs carefully, because they are constructing your future. Your input determines your output. Chapter 10. Successful people are loving people. Greater than, and above all these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Colossians 3:14 KJV. Success is built on relationships, and relationships cannot be sustained without love. No person succeeds completely alone. At different stages of life, we need the encouragement, knowledge, cooperation, trust and support of other people. Therefore, anyone who desires lasting success must learn how to value and love people. Successful people are loving people. They understand that people are more important than possessions, positions and profits. Money can purchase equipment, buildings and services, but it cannot purchase genuine love, loyalty or trust. These valuable qualities are developed through the way we consistently treat others. You may have exceptional abilities, great ideas and considerable wealth, but if you continually mistreat people, your success will eventually become empty. True success is not measured only by what you accumulate. It is also measured by the number of lives you encourage, strengthen and improve. Love gives meaning to achievement. Love is the foundation of meaningful success. Love is not merely an emotion. It is a decision to treat people with dignity, kindness, patience and respect. Feelings may change, but genuine love remains committed to doing what is right. The greatest commandment teaches us to love God with all our hearts and to love our neighbors as ourselves. This means that love must guide our conduct in the home, workplace, church, business and wider society. You cannot claim to love God while continually treating people with cruelty and disrespect. Every human being was created in the image of God and therefore deserves to be treated with dignity. Jesus said, "Greater than, by this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another." John 13:35 KJV. Love is one of the clearest pieces of evidence that God is working in your life. Your spiritual maturity is not measured merely by how loudly you pray or how much scripture you can quote. It is also demonstrated by how patiently, kindly and respectfully you treat people. A successful person who lacks love may impress people temporarily, but a loving person leaves a lasting impression upon their hearts. People are your greatest assets. Everything you accomplish will involve people. Customers purchase your products. Employees help you execute your vision. Mentors provide guidance. Partners contribute knowledge and resources. Family members offer emotional and practical support. If you do not know how to treat people properly, you may eventually lose the very relationships you need to fulfill your purpose. Some people value money more than the individuals who help them make it. They use people to obtain wealth and then abandon them when they believe they are no longer useful. Such behavior may produce temporary gain, but it destroys trust and damages reputations. Wise people do not use others as ladders to climb to the top. They recognize the contributions of those who supported them and create opportunities for others to grow. Never become so focused on reaching your destination that you forget the people traveling with you. Your accomplishments will become more meaningful when those around you are also strengthened by your progress. Love makes you a person of value. A loving person looks for opportunities to improve the lives of others. Such a person does not enter every relationship asking, "What can I receive?" Instead, the loving person also asks, "What can I contribute?" When you help someone solve a problem, you become valuable. When you offer encouragement to a discouraged person, you become valuable. When you share knowledge with someone who needs direction, you become valuable. When you show compassion to someone experiencing difficulty, you become valuable. Love moves you beyond selfishness. Selfish people think only about their own convenience, recognition and advancement. They may achieve something, but they frequently struggle to maintain meaningful relationships. Loving people understand that success becomes richer when it is shared. Your value is not measured only by the amount of money you possess. It can also be measured by the peace, wisdom, hope and progress that your presence brings into the lives of other people. Love produces trust. Trust is one of the most important foundations of success. People prefer to work with those they can trust. Customers return to businesses where they are treated honestly. Employees remain committed to leaders who respect them. Partnerships become stronger when everyone acts with integrity. Love does not deceive people for personal benefit. It does not make promises it has no intention of keeping. It does not take advantage of someone's weakness or lack of knowledge. A loving businessperson provides honest information about products and services. A loving leader treats employees fairly. A loving partner communicates openly and fulfills commitments. Every time you act truthfully, you strengthen trust. Every time you deceive someone, you weaken it. A good reputation may take years to build but only a few careless decisions to destroy. Protect your name by allowing love and integrity to guide your conduct. Love is expressed through service. The greatest leaders are servants. They do not see leadership merely as an opportunity to control others. They see it as a responsibility to help people become better. Jesus demonstrated this principle throughout his earthly ministry. Although he possessed divine authority, he served people, healed the sick, encouraged the discouraged and gave hope to those society had rejected. He declared, "Greater than, for even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many." Mark 10:45 KJV. Service is love in action. A leader who truly loves people will not continually demand sacrifices from them while refusing to make sacrifices personally. Such a leader listens, provides guidance, recognizes contributions and accepts responsibility. Do not pursue positions merely because you want people to serve you. Develop the ability to serve. Your willingness to solve problems and meet genuine needs will create opportunities for influence. People may forget your title, but they will remember how you treated them. Love requires respect. Respect means recognizing the worth of another person regardless of their financial condition, educational background, nationality, occupation or social position. Some people treat those above them with honor but look down upon those they consider less important. This is not genuine respect, it is self-interest. The cleaner, receptionist, security officer, driver and junior employee deserve the same basic human dignity as the company director. Circumstances may change, but the value of a human life does not. Do not insult people because you have more knowledge, money or authority than they do. Every advantage you possess is also a responsibility. Use your strength to lift others rather than to humiliate them. Respect people when you speak. Listen without unnecessarily interrupting them. Appreciate their efforts. Correct them without destroying their confidence. Even when you disagree, communicate with dignity. The way you treat people who cannot reward you reveals the true condition of your character. Love is patient. No relationship is perfect because no human being is perfect. People will sometimes disappoint you, misunderstand you or make mistakes. If every error causes you to abandon a relationship, you may eventually find yourself standing alone. Patience does not mean accepting abuse, dishonesty or continual irresponsible behavior. It means giving people reasonable opportunities to learn, change and improve. A loving leader understands that growth takes time. Instead of condemning people for every weakness, the leader provides guidance and correction. A loving parent teaches children patiently. A loving friend does not disappear at the first disagreement. You also make mistakes and need the patience of others. Therefore, extend to people the same grace you hope to receive. Patience creates an environment in which people feel safe enough to learn and grow. Love forgives. Offenses are inevitable in human relationships. Even people who genuinely care about one another may sometimes speak carelessly, act selfishly or make poor decisions. Forgiveness prevents yesterday's pain from poisoning today's opportunities. Forgiving someone does not mean pretending that nothing happened. It does not remove the need for accountability, wisdom or healthy boundaries. Forgiveness means refusing to allow bitterness and the desire for revenge to control your heart. Bitterness is a heavy burden. It consumes energy that could have been used to build your future. When you continually replay an offense, you allow the person who hurt you to occupy valuable space in your mind. Ask God for the grace to forgive. Learn the necessary lessons, establish appropriate boundaries and continue your journey without hatred. Love does not keep a permanent record of every wrong. Love speaks the truth. Love is not weakness, and it does not mean agreeing with everything people do. Genuine love is willing to speak the truth when silence would allow someone to continue in a destructive direction. However, truth must be communicated with wisdom and kindness. Some people use honesty as an excuse to insult others. They claim to be speaking the truth, but their real intention is to embarrass or dominate. Truth without love can become a weapon. Before correcting someone, examine your motive. Are you trying to help the person improve, or are you trying to prove your superiority? Choose the right place, time and manner for the conversation. Correct privately whenever possible. Identify the behavior without attacking the person's identity. Give practical direction and allow room for improvement. When people know you genuinely care about them, they are more likely to receive your correction. Love celebrates the success of others. One of the clearest expressions of love is the ability to celebrate when another person succeeds. Jealousy causes people to view someone else's progress as a threat. Instead of learning from successful people, they criticize them. Instead of offering congratulations, they look for weaknesses and mistakes. You do not need to extinguish another person's light for yours to shine. God has given different gifts, assignments and seasons to different people. Celebrate those who are progressing. Learn from them. Encourage them and allow their achievement to remind you of what is possible. Love does not compete unnecessarily. It understands that there is enough room for everyone to make a meaningful contribution. When you sincerely celebrate the achievements of others, you protect your heart from envy and prepare yourself to handle your own success with humility. Loving yourself properly. The commandment says that you should love your neighbor as yourself. This means healthy love for others is connected to a healthy understanding of your own worth. Loving yourself does not mean becoming proud, selfish or self-centered. It means recognizing that you are created by God, accepting responsibility for your well-being and refusing to destroy yourself through negative habits. Take care of your spiritual, mental, emotional and physical health. Develop your abilities. Forgive yourself for past mistakes after you have repented and learned from them. Stop speaking about yourself as though God made a mistake when He created you. When you continually hate yourself, you may struggle to love others properly. You may become jealous, overly dependent on approval or threatened by other people's success. Know your worth without considering yourself superior to anyone else. Humility is not thinking that you have no value. It is recognizing that every gift comes from God and should be used to serve others. Love must operate in business. Some people believe love belongs only in the home or church and has no place in business. However, business is fundamentally about serving people and solving their problems. Love should influence how you treat customers, employees, suppliers, partners and competitors. Do not sell harmful or inferior products merely because you want to make money. Do not exploit desperate people. Do not deliberately delay payments to those who have completed their work. Do not destroy another person's reputation to gain an advantage. Conduct your business with compassion, fairness and excellence. Listen to customer complaints and correct genuine mistakes. Create a work environment where people are respected. Pay fairly according to your agreements and ability. A business built on greed may earn money temporarily, but a business built on value, trust and responsible service has a stronger foundation for lasting success. Profit is important, but it must not become more important than people. Love gives generously. Love is generous. It is willing to share time, knowledge, encouragement and resources. Generosity is not measured only by the size of a financial gift. A person may have little money but still offer valuable support. You can introduce someone to an opportunity, teach a useful skill, recommend a trustworthy person or provide encouragement during a difficult season. Do not wait until you become wealthy before you begin giving. Start with what you have. Generosity breaks the power of selfishness. It reminds you that your blessings are not intended for you alone. God gives resources so that needs can be met and lives can be improved. However, generosity must be guided by wisdom. Helping people does not mean supporting irresponsible behavior. Sometimes the most loving response is to provide knowledge, accountability and opportunity to work rather than continually giving temporary relief. Give in a way that restores dignity and encourages growth. Love leaves a lasting legacy. At the end of life, people will not remember only the possessions you accumulated. They will remember the way your life affected them. They will remember whether you encouraged them when they were discouraged, believed in them when others rejected them and helped them discover their abilities. They will remember whether your presence brought peace or pain. Your greatest legacy will be found in people. Buildings may deteriorate, money may be spent, positions will eventually be occupied by someone else. But the love, wisdom and opportunities you invest in people can continue influencing future generations. Live in such a way that people become stronger because they encountered you. Let your success create opportunities for others. Teach what you have learned. Mentor younger people. Support worthy causes and use your influence responsibly. The highest form of success is helping other people rise. Practical ways to become more loving. Love must move beyond words and become a daily practice. You can begin by taking the following actions. Listen carefully when people speak. Keep your promises and honor your commitments. Apologize sincerely when you are wrong. Appreciate people for their contributions. Encourage someone who is passing through difficulty. Refuse to spread gossip or damage another person's reputation. Correct people respectfully and privately. Celebrate the achievements of others. Help someone without demanding recognition. Treat every person with dignity. Forgive offenses and release bitterness. Pray for those around you. Use your knowledge, position and resources to improve lives. These actions may appear small, but consistent expressions of love can transform relationships, organizations and communities. Conclusion. Successful people are loving people because genuine success cannot be separated from the well-being of others. Love gives purpose to wealth, direction to influence and meaning to achievement. It enables you to build trust, maintain healthy relationships and create a legacy that extends beyond your lifetime. Do not become so ambitious that you lose your compassion. Do not pursue recognition at the expense of people. Do not allow money, power or position to harden your heart. Love God. Love yourself properly. Love your family. Love those who work with you. Love the people you serve and even show kindness to those who oppose you. Your ability to love will determine the quality of the relationships you build, and the quality of those relationships will significantly influence the success you experience. When love governs your decisions, your success becomes a blessing rather than a burden. Always remember, greater than people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. Let your life become an expression of God's love. Use your words to encourage, your hands to serve, your wisdom to guide and your resources to lift others. This is how you stand out. This is how you do exploits. This is how you achieve success that truly matters. We sincerely appreciate the time you have spent with us. We look forward to connecting with you again. Until then, remain blessed, continue exploring the treasures God has placed within you, and remember to listen to our other inspirational materials. We would be grateful to receive your feedback and hear how this audiobook has blessed, encouraged, or transformed your life. Please help us to like and subscribe to our channel to help us reach more people. Thank you once again.